If there's one thing that people that start taking nootropics learn, it's that once they reach a particular powerful brain state, they never want to not be in that brain state, right? You know, they always want their brain to work that good. You reach a threshold of knowing what your brain can do, and then how it translates to productivity, it's like, you know, forget it, you're sold. Well, you know, I realized that state the first time eight and a half years ago, you know, when I started taking like Alcar and Alpha GPC. And then as I got more advanced, I built a bunch of different stacks, ended up building a commercial stack, Cortex, and then just figured out a bunch of stacks that work. One of them is a stack that, you know, I hate to be hyperbolic, you guys know me, but is akin to the Limitless stack. And the basis of it is triacetyluridine. Triacetyluridine is a more bioavailable form of uridine monophosphate that requires 25 to 75 milligram doses, so very low doses, kind of like phenylpiracetam. Is profoundly powerful for working memory, profoundly powerful for mental energy, profoundly powerful for focus. But uridine and uridine analogs are profoundly amazing for verbal fluency. That's just one of the compounds. There's a bunch of different compounds in this triacetyluridine stack. It's the TAU Limitless stack. We've sort of briefly touched on it. That put together in a very particular way turn on brain function. To me, it's better than modafinil, because modafinil speeds everything up. You know, you're firing on all cylinders. It's not quite incredibly functional. This TAU Limitless stack is incredibly functional. And the only way to know what the stack is to get the Smarter, Better, Faster book. Secure copy, Smarter, Better, Faster, livecortex.com for the TAU Limitless stack and other stacks like it, as well as a whole bunch of other great information. Also, running a special on the Cortex stack, $5 off using the coupon code 5. This is our focus and mental energy stack where we use uridine monophosphate, one of the ingredients that's an analog of triacetyluridine, which if I were to, look, I'm not just saying because we built the stack, like I just gotta be honest with you guys. If I were to say, is there a Limitless-esque natural compound? 100% it'd be uridine monophosphate, and that is the primary ingredient in the workhorse stack for Cortex. livecortex.com for powerful nootropic products. Okay, you know, part of what's so great about folks that are into nootropics being on this channel is that a lot of those folks are into trying to fix their GABA receptors. Some of them might have taken Xanax for a long time, or some of them might have taken other analogs of other benzodiazepines that fuss with GABA receptors in the brain. A lot of them end up in a place where after years of usage of benzos and some of these compounds where their brains don't work the way that they did, and they feel like there's some sort of damage to the GABAergic system, GABA receptors or something. And that does seem like the case. You know, I've read very many credible publications on damage to GABA receptors and modulation of GABA receptors that I think pharmaceutical industry and doctors, et cetera, say is reversible. I'm not quite sure, how reversible it is. But it does certainly seem to be prevalent, and it's also there in the anecdotal reports of people talking about it. The thing that I think about all of it is, I have a close friend who has been taking benzodiazepines for quite some time, and I've been working with him on trying to repair his brain after taking them. And we're seeing progress. But the thing is that progress is very slow, and by slow I mean 1 to 2 years. I've been working with him for about a year, and I foresee that in about another year we might be where he needs to be, where he can sort of feel relatively normal some of the time, and maybe take some pharma GABA, which is like a better version of GABA that actually absorbs some L-theanine and some valerian root, and a few other things that work on GABA receptors and trying to help GABA. Glycine, the inhibitory and excitatory neurotransmitter, glycine, and a few other things. But here's what I would say as tips, and here's effectively what we're doing to try to help him. Number 1, cardio exercise. Cardio exercise. That basically means running, guys. Okay, you can't try to get a shortcut and be like, oh, I'll just do a little bit of, kettlebell swings and shit. It's you gotta run, guys. You gotta force yourself, go run a half a mile. If you're not into running, if you're not conditioned, it's gonna suck. But you got to build your way up. You'll feel like the rising from the ashes, phoenix rising from the ashes. It's a good feeling. I always say people are all fucked up and they're not in the right place because they're not pushing themselves. push yourself. Go do it. You gotta run, because there's GABA receptor, and it's a neurotransmitter regulation and production that happens with cardio that I don't think you can replicate with any other exercise. It's really hard to replicate chemically under other conditions. So I've got them running basically every day, and this helps profoundly. The other thing is I've got them taking pharma GABA, a better version of GABA that actually does. It's made from a lactic acid bacteria, and it does cross the blood-brain barrier as far as the publishers, the manufacturers of the products say. And he's taking 500 to 1500 milligrams of L-theanine every day, which increases brain serotonin. We don't know if theanine is repairing GABA receptors. We don't even know if pharma GABA is repairing GABA receptors. We just don't know, but we think the activation of GABA and the increases in GABA is helping those receptors to function normally, because these are natural versions of compounds that either contribute directly to GABA, the production of GABA via pharma GABA, and theanine, producing GABA. It's not just binding to the receptors, which is, I'm pretty sure, what these benzos are doing. They're just mimicking GABA and binding to the receptors over time. And so that's essentially it. But the thing that seems to be the most overarching principle is time. Not that I think this stuff is reversible. Damage to GABA receptors, which is what seems pretty clear is what's happening with benzos and some of these other analogs that are antipsychotic, anti-anxiety, antidepressant, depressive, these sorts of things. It seems like the overarching thing is time. And my own personal opinion is that you're probably looking at 1 to 3 years. Looking at my friend here who I'm working with, it's been a year, and we're making a lot of progress. He's feeling better. He's taking the pharma GABA. He's running. The cardio is a lot. It's critically important, guys. People are like, I don't want to run. Like, it's like, it makes me feel whatever. Fine, just feel like crap all day then. Feel depressed and feel jacked up and have your GABA receptors not functioning correctly. Don't worry about it. Just let someone else get better quicker. Go run. All right? Stop it. Go freaking run. But generally, I really do think that time is the ultimate healer in this situation. I've seen so many things, man. I've seen the body heal in ways that are unexplainable. I've seen major debilitating disease states largely resolve over the course of 2 months, doing the right things, avoiding the right things, facilitating glutathione production, in the liver, taking alpha lipoic acid for liver functioning. I've seen thyroid glands and thyroid conditions get better over the course of 2 months without medication, with tyrosine, selenium, and iodine, and lots of carbohydrates and a good exercise routine. I've seen a lot. And I think the body can regenerate, and I think GABA receptors can repair themselves or get repaired, with something like pharma GABA, with something like L-theanine, sort of natural versions of actually creating GABA rather than just binding to them in a strange way, which is what it seems like benzos are really doing, just mimicking GABA. And exercise, replenishing neurotransmitters and getting neurotransmitters to work correctly via intense cardio. But the most standout thing to me is time. And I would say, as far as I can tell right now, it looks like 1 to 3 years. Could it be 5 years? Yeah. Could it be 10 years? Yes, it might be. It really might be 10 years. Okay. But to me, it does not seem that way. The progress we're making with my friend who's been, he's on benzos for years, just somewhere around 10 years, in 1 year is promising. We got him running, we got him taking pharma GABA, got him taking L-theanine. And those things are helping a lot. And I feel like in another year, we'll have made more significant progress. And maybe by year 3, he'll be relatively normal. That's my take on it. Hey guys, Ryan here. Thanks for watching. But if you want to take your brain game to the next level, you want to increase your focus, your verbal fluency, your mental energy, your ability to sit down and crank out work for hours at a time, secure a bottle of the Cortex Nootropics stack. Our customers are clear. This is the best pre-made stack on the planet. And hey, speaking of stacks, if you really want to take your nootropic stack game to the next level, secure the Smarter, Better, Faster book. This is a surgical guide to using nootropics for total mental dominance. You talk about stacks, we got stacks in there. Endless amounts of stacks, power stacks, verbal fluency stacks, working memory stacks. We've got modafinil strategies and everything else you can think of to include a whole sector on nootropics questions answered. Smarter, Better, Faster, the most powerful nootropics guide on the planet. livecortex.com. That's livecortex.com. We'll see you over there.